Hey, I'm back. I finally got my webcam working again, and I'm going to be doing a plan with me video today. I'm going to be planning out my September writing schedule, so if that sounds like something that interests you, stick around, and maybe some of my hints and tips will work for you in planning your own schedule. Brief introduction. If you don't know who I am, I'm Yasmine Galenorn, a New York Times Publishers Weekly and USA Today bestselling author. I have been in the business over 24 years, 20 of it with trad publishers in New York mostly, and the last 4 years I have gone indie. So having a tailor-made schedule to stick by is more important than ever to me. um, as you can see, I keep my writing schedule in a binder. Now this was a daytimer binder. It's soft because I like being able to fold it all the way back. And I think it's faux leather. I love stickers, so of course I've got my stickers on the outside, and it's easy to pick up and carry around, even though I have a lot in it. So here we go. I'm going to show you a little bit about it first. Move one of my crystals. So these are titles that I am working on the next couple of years. And on my vision board in my office, I always put up the title like, Witching Moon, Witching Time. I put up the title and some pictures that make me think of the book I'm working on, and I can show you that later. Okay. Oops. There's a paper clip. So I have a section for sales records, and I have a laminator, so I make a lot of my dashboards myself using pictures that I love. So this is a sales records, and honestly, some of these things I'm not going to show you because they're private, but I have a section for sales records, and I use ledger paper, as you can tell. And then here is my project section, and again, I'm not going to show you a lot of that because some of that information I don't want out yet, but again, I made a dashboard, and I've got information in there on what projects I'm working on and timelines that I want to complete them in. Here's my promo and admin section. Mainly it's a promotion section at this point. And again, a new dashboard that I made. And I print out 3 months at a time. I work on a quarterly basis because it works best for me. So I have July, August, and September, and this is primarily promotion. Advertisements that I'm running, like Facebook ads, Amazon ads, stacked ads around BookBub, which I just recently had. I've got a podcast coming up next week with a fellow author, and I'm running a contest at the end of next month on my blog, so I've penciled in the beginning date for that. So, and then I have a writing and publishing checklist that I've written up based on one that a friend gave me. And then I go into the months. Now that was July. As I said, I work on a quarterly basis. And August, which is almost over, but I'm going to be focusing on September today. And aren't my dashboards pretty? As I said, I love my laminating machine. It is one of the most fun purchases I think I've made in terms of office supplies. And if there were more things I could laminate, I would do that. So I've got my word count sheet set up here. And it's one I created. It's got the month and the year, which I write in. And then it's got the days of the month, 1 through 31. If there's only 30 days, I will write NA not applicable in the days that aren't in the month. How many words I have due for that month or that day, how many words I wrote that day, the total amount that I've written so far that month, and the project that I'm writing on. And this is just, I made this in Word. It's in a table form, and I can put the link to that and in the description box and the about the video box, and have it on my website for you to download if you're interested in. So let me make a note to do that. Okay, so I am back. Now, I've done a little preliminary work already because otherwise this video would take forever. But the first thing I do is I have a 2-page monthly spread. And I got the printable form for this off Printable Pineapples. They're an Etsy site, and I really like some of their things. I love the font they use. Now you can see I have already been in here with my washi tape, and I basically do the bottom and the sides on both sides. And you don't have to do this, but I love washi tape. I need a reason to feed my addiction. And if I don't use it, there's no reason for me to buy it. So I use washi tape as often as I can. Now, so we have a to-do list on the side. That's one thing I love about this printable. This month's focus, and then the days of the month. And then I go through, and Blue Jay Planners on Etsy makes a printable version for a vertical format for the days of the week. And I like starting on a Sunday just because that's the way the calendar works. For me, starting on a Monday seems odd. But so this printable form, you have a section for notes and goals, and one underneath each day of the week. And then the vertical format, 3 vertical boxes. Now, the way I use these boxes is I will use the top one for my writing, how much I want to write. The second one, I go for blogging and anything like my newsletter. The third will be for any advertisements or anything like that that I've got going. And so I just print out those and washi tape them for the month. And you'll notice this month, even though September has 31 days, or September has 30 days, I only go through the 28th because the next week starts on the 29th, and that will go into October's section. Before I get started writing on here, I usually do stickers first. I'm not sure why, it just makes sense to me. So I'm going to look through some of my stickers here real quick. And this is a happy memory keeping book from Happy Planner. Create 365 Happy Planner. And then I stole an idea from Sarah Cannon, one of my friends, and I put a lot of my loose stickers that I get in from Etsy into photo journals. So it makes them easy to find. So I'm going to go through, pull out some stickers, and get them put down. So as you can see, I have a massive amount of stickers over here that I pulled out. And I may not use all of them, but I wanted to have them around just in case. And I've also got some washi tape that I'm going to be using, and my markers. So I'm going to get started here with stickers. Okay, as you can see, I've decorated for the overall month. I put my husband's birthday there. Celebrate because, well, Mabon, our fall celebration for our tradition is on the 23rd. We'll be celebrating it on the 21st. And so that, I already know that that day I won't be doing any writing. So I've got that done. And I will go through and do the weeks as soon as I finish writing down what I need to on here. So I have a release coming on Monday, September 2nd. That is when Witching Bones comes out. So I'm going to write Witching Bones release. And I write that in green because all my releases I put in green. And just to emphasize it, I'm going to use a highlighter and mark around that day. I have learned over the years that on release days, I usually don't get a lot of work done, so I'm not going to plan for a whole lot of work at that point. Now, I also have let's see, I plan on getting the current manuscript of Sacred Magic into my editor by the 6th. I was going to get it in by the end of this week, this coming week. However, it's running a little longer than I thought it would, so I'm bumping it ahead a week. I can't bump it ahead too much because of her schedule. So due to editor. And that, and this, I always forget. I should highlight the area first and then write it down because it does sometimes smear. Wow, it's making a liar of me now. But I highlight in yellow when I have a due date. Now, just to remember, also Sam's birthday. Mabon celebration. Well, we'd love to do it on the actual day. Unfortunately, when you're pagan, a lot of our celebrations will fall during the middle of the week, and people can't always get those days off. So I'll do a little something private on Mabon on the actual day, and our circle will meet on the 21st. Now, other than that, I don't have any planned due dates for this month. To-do list. Well, I have several things that can go. I have a Sacred Magic due. Start the Eternal Return. I also want to finish editing both Autumn Thorns and Shadow Silence so they can go back to my editor. I realize that they've already been published, through Berkeley, but I have found that I like to run them through an editor again after I get the rights back. And I also am cutting them down a little bit. I'm not changing the plots, but there was a lot of extraneous writing in there that I feel is a little bit, well, let's put it this way, my writing's advanced since then, and I want to tighten them up. I have, let's see, blogging schedule to make. And the release, Witching Bones, And I'll add others in as I think of them. There are a lot of things that I need to sit down and just plan out at this point. I'm just showing you an overview right now. So this is fairly ready to go, except there's one thing that I will do. You'll notice I wrote in here, begin the eternal return. Now I will have to plot out how many days it will take me to write that. I have found that if I write a lower number of words, but I write every single day, that I get the books done a whole lot faster. And I'm much more comfortable in the world. I stay in the world a lot more. So I will be counting how many days that I need to write the book. Now, obviously, this day will be out because we're going to have a celebration and we'll need to plan for that. But otherwise, from that day forward, I'll probably start writing every single day until the book's done. And it won't take that long for me. I write quickly. I'm very lucky in terms of being naturally prolific. And I write tight. But that's something that I have to do. So now we go on, and I will only plan 1 week at a time here because I like sitting down at the end of every week to plan the next week. So that's our next task. Okay, now we're going to get started on the first week in September. First thing I do for the vertical layout is I like to use thin washi tape, and I usually use a shiny tape to tape across the tops of the boxes. So I'm going to start with purple for writing this week. One thing I love about washi tape, some of it, not all of it, some of it peels off nicely without wrecking your pages. The lovely thing about printables is if you destroy a page, you can print out another one. So, and it's never totally precise. I've had to learn to let my OCD go a little bit. And it's been good for me in terms of learning that not everything can be perfect. Because I always want things to be perfect, and they never are. And I get really upset sometimes when that happens. But I've had to learn the hard way. Let me adjust this a bit. That you sometimes just have to let things go. Now I think for blogging and newsletter, I'm going to go with green. I'm using purple, green, and a coppery orange for September because those are the colors that make me think of early autumn. And I'm so excited that we're going to be in the autumn season. I love autumn. It's my favorite season. And, you know, it just speaks to me. Yeah, it's the time of the year for witches, really, when you think about it. Well, here we have wonderful rainstorms and windstorms, and yes, I do like storms. And fog rising up from the ground, and it's so pretty, and it just is so mystical and magical. And as someone who is pagan, for me, that mysticism that the weather brings is that's magical in itself. So now we're going to do the copper, orange copper. I think I'm calling it copper. Sometimes finding the end of the washi tape isn't all that easy. Okay, there we go. And I like to do this just because I like to decorate. And as I said, I need to find reasons to use my washi tape so that I can buy more. Yes, I am a washi tape junkie and a sticker junkie. So there. that's decorated. Sometimes I will put a strip of washi tape down there. In fact, so I'm going to go, I found a washi tape of gold moons. So I'm going to go a strip there. And I think that would be good. Now, before I write anything down, I am also going to sticker this up. And so I don't use down here a whole lot. I do like that I have these for the to-dos, but often they get unused, so I put a lot of stickers down there too. Over in this column, however, and I always leave this one empty just in case, what I will do is I go through and I pull a card for the week, and I will write a tarot card, and I will write down what the week looks like from that card. Sometimes I'll use 2 or 3 different oracle decks and do 2 or 3 cards for the week. So I do that in there, and sometimes it spills over in there. So I tend to put the stickers on the other days, just giving them space. Here is one. That is so pretty. Let's do that. Oh, by the way, I have been trying coffee a little bit since I started this one medication to help my inflammation and my mast cell problems. It has been allowing me to eat a few more foods than I could. So I'm getting back to low carb, and I'm also finding that I can do a shot of espresso now and then without a problem. I did try a couple of shots the other day, and it backfired on me, and I did have a reaction that night. So I have to keep it to 1 shot at a time, which is such a far cry from what I used to have that it seems kind of pathetic to me, but what can I say? And I'm going to do that there. And let's see, I think we'll go with, I've been doing a lot of clearing lately, so I think we're going to put make room for good things to begin right there. I'm going to go back over here, and while it's not time for the turkeys, we're coming up on Mabon, so I'm going to use a cornucopia and just do that as a reminder of the season. And some of the leaves are changing color, so I'm going to put that there. And I really love this little tiny redhead autumn decked girl. I also do my planner for the week, for the daily planner that plans out Sam's and my schedule for the week. It's not a work planner, but it is sort of our household planner. So after I finish this, I'll be doing that, but I won't do that on camera because this video may run a little long. We don't have barren trees yet, but I think I want some coniferous. We have so many evergreens around here, firs and cedars, and they grow so tall. That's one thing I love about this area. It's constantly green. Even in the hot summer, you have the green trees. You have the forests that are filled with undergrowth. So I'm going to put the trees right there. Happy little trees. I loved Bob Ross. He was so cool. And, oh, let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, we have an oak leaf. So, there is that, and there's one more sticker I want to put on there. Where did it go? There it went. And I think I'm going to put So those stickers that I need to put. I think I'm going to put an inspirational sticker that says, "It's all beautiful." And we're going to set that down here. Actually, we're going to put that right up in here. As a reminder for the week. It's all beautiful. Now, next week, well, not exactly next week, but on the 7th, I will need to do a video. And I will also be doing my email. Now it's time to start writing. Now on the 1st of every month, I do not write. Until, well, I sometimes write, but only after I pay bills and log my sales reports. And that means that I go in and I check how many sales I made the preceding month and how many sales per book per vendor. And I give those to Sam to put on a spreadsheet because he's my assistant now, so I fob that off on him. But I also have to pay bills on the 1st, so any writing comes after that. This first week in September, since, as I said, the book is running a bit longer, I expect to be editing A Sacred Magic. So I will put edit A Sacred Magic, and that will go through the week. I give myself a week. I used to, that's actually longer than I used to get with Berkeley for a lot of things. They'd send me back the manuscripts going, "Can you have this turned around in 2 or 3 days?" They knew I could do it, even though it was uncomfortable. But, I mean, it was uncomfortable as in it had me working like crazy. So I am giving myself a full week, and if I don't need that amount of time, then I will take those days off. And I want to have it to my editor by the 6th. I need to do my newsletter on Saturday. And Catterday on my blog is always on Saturdays. And I believe, let me see. I don't know if I have actually made my blogging schedule for September or not yet. I don't think I did, but I'm going to check on my website and see if I've got anything already up scheduled, because I try to schedule posts a ways ahead. It's so much easier to do it that way. So 9/6, okay, yes. The 6th on my blog, I have Tell Me Something Good. It's a little thing to bring some joy into the world by making people think about good things that happen. Because you get what you give out, and what you focus on tends to appear in your life a whole lot more than what you don't focus on. So if you focus on the positive and focus on solutions rather than the problems, it tends to smooth out your life a bit. I'm a firm believer in the law of attraction, and I'm a firm believer in the fact that we, to a large extent, create our own lives and create our own joys. So tell me something good. I don't think so. Now here's where I look back into the promotion section, and I look at September, and I don't have anything scheduled yet. I probably should start a couple ads, but I'm also doing marketing classes, so I want to those are initials of marketing class I'm doing. I want to do some work on each day for the marketing classes that I'm doing. And down here for promotion, I will brainstorm ads. So there. And they may end up putting stuff on the other days. And I'll definitely be adding in at least a couple blogs. In fact, this video will be embedded on my actual blog on Tuesday for YouTube. So there, that is how I've planned out September so far. The other weeks for September, I will plan out, in fact, on Saturday, this is another thing I need to put down, calendars, which means I go through the calendars and plan the next week. And I'm going to add, since I'm still immersed in the wild hunt, a world tree symbol up here. And I'm also going to add another sticker or two. I feel all about the joy this time, so my heart is open to joy. And let's just do a very pretty seasonal sticker right there. Okay, there's September. So you have seen how I planned out my writing schedule. And as I said, I will be going through, figuring out how many days that I need to be able to write The Eternal Return. And then I will start it that day, and I will write straight through except for Mabon until it's done. And that will go into October, obviously. But there we've had it. Planning September, planning the autumn. I am so ready for autumn. And I think next week I will be doing a answering reader questions video. And I'm also planning to create a magical journal, a magical planner, which will include my book of shadows and stuff. And I may do a couple videos on some of the things that I'm planning out for that, if you're interested. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you. Oh, doesn't that look like a face? 2 eyes and a nose. In case you're interested, this is one of the crystals I keep on my desk. It's a Herkimer diamond. And this is a smoky quartz and amethyst sphere. And this is what's called rainbow quartz. And you can see how many prisms it has. And now the video is, okay, there it's steadied. I will talk to you next week and see you on my blog. And a reminder that Witching Bones does come out on the 2nd. You can pre-order now. Links are below. I will get that word count page link up so that you can download it from my site. And I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful week.